In this video, we're turning our attention to specific wounds that we can receive as we grow up from our parents. The way that our parents parented or raised us, or lack of, did influence us. That process shaped us into the adults we are today. Hi, I'm Dr. B, and I want to help you fully enjoy life and experience the freedom God has for you and those around you. Now, I'm not here to degrade or downplay our parents. That's not my purpose. But many received wounds from their growing up years that affect your life. And here's what I've learned as a counselor. If the enemy can get an abusive father or mother in a family line, that can be passed down. In fact, Exodus 25 says, the sins of the father are seen on the third and fourth generation. That's what can happen unless we allow God to break that pattern. Wounds from our fathers and mothers can affect us deep in our souls. They can be mental, emotional, or even physical wounds that can change us and cause us to see through a hurt filter. Some parents were overbearing. Some were simply inadequate or, sad to say, not even there. We all, to a greater or lesser degree, carry around wounds from our childhood. During our growing up years, we as children are searching for our identity. We are moving toward personhood and hopefully wholeness as an adult. So the question is, how does a wound happen? Well, honestly, wounds from parents can be seen in a number of ways. Let me give you an example that I see as I do ride-alongs with police officers serving as a police chaplain. We're seeing more and more children who have not learned the development of respecting adults, especially authority figures. So all father figures may be seen as the enemy. And what I see in society are a lot of spoiled kids who dislike police simply because they are authority figures. Now, for these kids, they were not taught the proper respect or their fathers were absent. We see wounds like a poor self-image or a person who does not accept themselves. It can be seen in immature aggression toward others and maybe even rage, like the term road rage. For others, their wounds are seen in other areas like feeling they're worth less or feeling empty on the inside or even not being a real or whole person. Others, they have a difficult time even receiving a compliment because they were put down so much by their parents during their growing up years. You know, as a pastor and counselor, I've seen that damage parents have inflicted on many. I've seen firsthand the messed up lives and broken hearts left in the way a child was parented by a selfish parent. But it doesn't have to be like this. If you feel damaged from wounds as a child, there is hope. I know God can heal you because He's done a miraculous work in my life. My pain and my healing have brought out my life's passion, and that's to let others know that God can heal them of their past, no matter how deep. Now, let me share some questions that you can answer right now as you think back to how you were raised. Did you feel that you were unfairly criticized as a child? Were you treated as though you could not make your own decisions growing up? Were your wants and feelings just simply ignored? Were you demeaned or made fun of all the time? How about constantly being compared to a sibling your parents felt were better than you? Were you ever told you are the reason your mother or father was depressed or unfulfilled in life, and you're the one that caused it in the first place? Did or does one of your parents always try to upstage you? Or maybe you felt just smothered growing up. Now, some of you may still be dealing with a difficult parent, even though you're an adult now, married, and have children. Does one of your parents constantly email, call, or text wanting your attention all the time? Do you ever feel that you're the one to make everyone happy, but you yourself do not feel happy? Do you ever wonder if your parents love you? Maybe you're constantly chasing the approval of your parents and now others. Now, if you answered yes to even a few of those questions, that's a clear signal that you're probably carrying around wounds from your parents. Please hear me. Even if you answered yes to all the questions, you're not ill-fated. You do not have irreparable damage. You can be carting around some soul wounds and are holding in core lies, maybe carrying them around for years. You will need to renounce them. Now I have coming videos that will walk you through how to deal with these wounds and find freedom. Now, for many of us, we felt we had to perform to be accepted as we were growing up. And this can be true or even perceived. If you feel that no matter what you do, it's never good enough, or your value is how well you function, then you are probably dealing with a performance-driven lifestyle. Now, here's the results of living a performance-driven life. We can actually take pity on ourselves. Here's the thing. Self-pity can lead to being obsessed with self. We can also pass on the rejection we feel to others. The big one is, instead of looking to God for approval, we look to people for approval and want their acceptance. But please hear this. We all need God's approval, but especially the performance-driven person. I'm now complete in God through Christ, and I will never be complete in myself without Him. Never. Here's the thing. We need to grow up from our childhood and become adults and follow God and His holy word. If you are an adult and you still are struggling with a parent that wants to control your life and places themselves in your life all the time, you may need to set some boundaries. You know, the Bible's pretty clear. For example, in Genesis 2, when we're married, we are to leave our father and mothers, and the Bible says cleave to our spouses. We are to leave the dependence and security and also leave the old parent-child relationship. Some parents, sad to say, cannot get that. Let me give you a couple examples I've either read about or heard. A young lady and her husband were getting ready to have their first child, and her parents' first grandchild. She had a mother that was one that could never stand someone else getting all the attention and always wanted it for herself. Here's what happened. On a holiday meal, the expecting daughter said, "Hey, everyone, we have some good news. We're going to have a baby." Everyone was so excited and stood up and gathered around them for a family hug and celebration. And the mother, grandmother-to-be, stood up and just, boom, fainted on the floor. We all know what happened. All the attention went to the mother. But do you see what she did? My understanding is that years later, the daughter was in counseling, and the counselor suggested she set boundaries and give examples why. When she told the mother how she felt about the fainting episode, here's what the mother said. She said, "Wow, you sure have a vivid imagination. That never happened." Now, here's what that mother did. She undermined the daughter's observation of what really happened and actually had her questioning her memory. That daughter had to set boundaries for her own sanity. Now, here's another story of what I would call an overly enmeshed set of parents. This is a young woman getting ready to have her first child also. She made it clear to her parents that she only wanted her husband in the delivery room when the time came. The parents couldn't stand it. There was a buzzer outside the delivery room, and either the mother or father would push the buzzer constantly. The nurse would come out time and time again and share that only the child's father was allowed in the delivery room. The parents got so angry and yelled at the nurse. They continued hitting the buzzer, and no one would respond. And the daughter said that her parents did not speak to her for months after the event, and she was made to feel guilty. Now, there are many other ways that we can be wounded from our growing up years, but this is a start for you to be thinking about your own life and how you were raised. And I encourage you to pray and ask God to show you what wounds you've received as you were growing up. I also encourage you to write in your notebook or journal the wounds you may be carrying around still today. In the next few videos, I will share with you how to overcome those wounds. Thank you so much for watching this video. If it was helpful, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Also be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon so you will always know when we post new content. Have a wonderful day as you continue finding freedom in your life.